I talk, you listen. Welcome to my one-man panel of madness. Hi everybody, this is Dr. Geohu, and alright, so episode 2 of Picard. It's funny because the first one just really set up this really cool story, and they've already stated that this is going to be a little bit of a different format than Star Trek Disco, where you kind of get a solution almost in each episode. And I'm an impatient fan, okay? I just say that and put that out there. I am an impatient fan. Just like with Doctor Who, what we're learning about the Doctor, and now with Picard, I just want to know what's going on. I mean, and again, this episode has us kind of at the edge of our seats, like, what is going on, Everything from this admiral swearing at Picard and almost like belittling him, and it's like, this is not your home anymore, Picard. You're out. You're nothing. To having some kind of Vulcan, Romulan, at least I think they're Vulcan. I mean, it's really hard to distinguish now, I think, in this series, Vulcans versus Romulans. I think that I'm going to have to look closer at the ears, I guess, and how they're shaped, because at first, I knew that the two Romulans that were taking care of Picard, I actually thought one was Vulcan, but then I remembered Enterprise incident where there was a Romulan commander, and she looked somewhat Vulcan. But anyways, yeah, like, what's going on with Starfleet? And I'm wondering if Starfleet is going to be made to be the baddie in this series, like, very different, instead of Starfleet being this sort of amazing organization that tries to help and exploration and all this stuff that we've come to learn from earlier Star Trek shows. That Starfleet is amazing, and it's really heartbreaking, because that Picard just gave his all to Starfleet, and to sort of be booted out. Although I have to say, when he first arrived at Starfleet, it was really kind of an exciting moment. For one thing, I live near where the new Starfleet is, which is here near Anaheim, and it's actually where they host the Star Wars celebrations and the D23. So I'm definitely going to have to make a trip down there in some Starfleet garb, just to say, hey, look, here's Starfleet. But I gotta say, it was really cool when he walked in and you saw the Enterprise and then the Enterprise D. So for this admiral to just kind of, tell him to F off, it was kind of odd. But yeah, I mean, like, what's going on with the Borg cube? And it's like every episode leaves me with more questions, and I want answers. We're in episode 2, and he still hasn't really kind of gone off to find this twin sister. And I'm wondering if Bruce Maddox has anything to do with this. Like, I don't want to check IMDb, because one thing I thought of was, well, why don't I check IMDb and see if the original actor that plays Bruce Maddox is on, is going to be in this season, and that would explain a lot. And also the mystery behind Data, that his positronic, this reminds me actually of an episode of Doctor Who. I can't remember the name of it now. Black what? Okay. Anyways, but in it, they say that essentially the tiny cells from a Cyberman can enter a person and then replicate, kind of like a Borg. So I'm wondering where all this is. I don't know. I am actually realizing that this show is leaving me with more questions at the end of each episode, and I just want to know what is going on. When is Picard going to get out there and try to find what is the connection between Data and these daughters of his? And is it, Bruce Maddox? What is he doing? And why did the replicants go bad? And why are the Romulans, again, on a Borg ship. I mean, I kind of understand from last night's episode that they're essentially studying it, kind of taking it apart and doing all this stuff, and it's become a base for them. But learning that the Romulans hate synthetic life forms. Why? What happened? Is this going to lead to a deeper story? And I'm still waiting for Jerry Ryan and Hugh to show up. So it's like, there's so much that I want to see and I want to know because there's so many little holes, and I just want to get there. But at the same time, I'm always thinking about, again, in reference to Doctor Who and the Unicorn and the Wasp episode with the 10th Doctor, when he and Donna visit. Oh my goodness, I've completely forgotten her name now. Anyways, the thrill is in the chase, never in the capture. I really think that I guess I'm just going to have to be a little more patient and just wait and see. But yeah, overall I think it was a pretty good episode. It's just starting to give us little pieces here and there, and I think maybe by the next episode we might start learning a little more about what is going on with these Romulans and why they hate replicants, what made these synthetics attack Mars. Because we did see a glimpse of that in episode 2, that somehow they just something flipped on them, and they decided to just go crazy and start annihilating Mars. So, obviously it seems like the Romulans had something to do with it, but I'm like, the Romulans are trying to flee, right? Because their planet has essentially been destroyed. They're trying to be relocated and so forth. Romulus is gone, so why be jerks about this and start this kind of scenario when you need a home, So I don't know. We're going to find out more, I'm sure. But I'm really liking it. I'm really loving the opening credits to the show. It really does bring a tear to my eye because again, like I said in one of my last segments, it just really fits this specific type of show. I think, every show we've had has had that kind of grandiose, very sort of operatic opening, and I mean, look at the one from Next Generation, and which is why one of my favorites is Deep Space Nine. It's such a beautiful melody, and I think that you don't necessarily have to have the big, pomp and circumstance type of opening for a Star Trek, but I think it could be a beautiful melody that kind of really talks about the essence of the show. And definitely the opening of Picard is that, but yeah, I think it was pretty cool. Again, I'm just impatient. I want to know what is going on, what Data has to do with this. Obviously, he and Bruce Maddox at some point might have met up and we just didn't know about it, and he shared information about his positronic brain. And I mean, to make a synthetic bleed and be so humanoid, there's a lot here going on. And the fact that the Romulans want her, I don't know, maybe they know something about it. And yes, the Borg. I want to see Jerry Ryan. I want to see Hugh. I want to see what's going on. And of course, I want to see that really beautiful scene with Picard and Riker, seeing each other once again. So that's all I have this week. Let's see what the next episode brings. And of course, we also have Doctor Who coming up again. So we'll have another exciting segment of Dr. Geo Who's sci-fi and horror ramblings. Or is it horror and sci-fi ramblings? Whichever. It doesn't really matter. It's all the same thing. All right. Until next time.